Florida residents grab the code and get second day free. We got 1 day tickets. Restrictions apply. Visit universalorlando.com/Coca-Cola.
This is the farmer's dog turkey. Apparently, this is also turkey. But only one actually looks like turkey, since only one is gently cooked without the ultra processing. And only one is human grade, because good ingredients matter. But the best recipes call for so much more. Get 50% off your first box, available only at thefarmersdog.com.
Any last thoughts about our plan? Finally, we agree on something. There's nothing to happen. Forget it, look out, get out of there! What's going on down there? Trying to stay out of its mouth. Just getting close.
Just waiting for students to show up. Oh, it's giving me a mirror image, so I'm thinking Knox is going this way and he's going that way.
What? Chicken. What? All right, let me make it better.
So somebody was in and then they left. I didn't see anyone show up. anyone is here, please leave a message in the chat. Let me know you're here. I apologize for the squeaking noise. Hey, Mason. Welcome. All right, I'll get started since you're in. Thank you, and I apologize for being late. I completely forgot I was supposed to be someplace after school. But I am going to get started so that you can get out of here on time. So we were on what question? Can you hear me? Oh, good. Okay, I was worried for a second. We were on physical and chemical properties, right? We were on 25, really? Oh, okay. I thought we did 26. Okay. We did 25 because I think you answered that in class. Oh, 29. Okay. All right. So we were going over this. So I'm just going to recap what we went over in class. So a physical property is a characteristic property of matter that can be observed and measured without changing the identity of the substance. So tearing paper, for example, we can see that paper can be torn without actually changing the paper. We can still tell that it's paper. For example, we can bend paper and still see that it's paper, and we can still tell that it's flexible. We can look at the color, it's white. Freezing point, we can freeze ice. We can melt it to water. We can boil it and still tell that it's water. This is Knox. He's going to be popping in and out of the live. Also, chemical property is a characteristic behavior of a substance that can be observed only when it undergoes a chemical reaction. So we're looking at flammability, reactivity, rusting, for example. Rusting permanently changes the metal to iron oxide, and it can't go back. So whatever it was, iron, for example. Heat of combustion. When you burn something, it becomes ash. Hi, honey. When you burn something, it becomes ash. You can't get it back to what it was. It's permanently ash. So number 30, define the terms of physical change and chemical change. A physical change is a type of change in which the form of matter is altered, but one substance is not transformed. So water is a perfect example of that. Also, mercury is a great example of that. Melting, freezing, heating, boiling, condensation. So states of matter, for example, are perfect examples of that. Dissolving. So if you dissolve salt in water, for example, that's another example. Shape, size, those are all good examples of physical change, cutting something in half. Chemical change. It is a process where one or more substances are changed into one or more new and different substances. Okay? So, combustion, rusting, mixing acids and bases, cooking. Cooking is a great example. That's why we call kitchen chemistry. It is just that. It is a series of chemical changes. Do you have any questions so far before we move on? Okay. All right. So what is a chemical reaction? What are the signs that a chemical reaction is taking place? A chemical reaction changes. A chemical change in which one or more substances, the reactants, are converted into one or more different substances, the products. Okay? So signs of a chemical reaction. So a color is a physical characteristic, but a change in color is a chemical characteristic. So change in color, formation of a precipitate, formation of a gas, odor, change in temperature. Those are signs of a chemical reaction. What is the result of the chemical reaction? Okay, you have here it shows 2H2 plus O2 yields 2H2O. The creation of one or more substances, the products with the properties that are different than the original substances, the reactants. So water has different properties than the original reactants. Hydrogen and oxygen are volatile gases. Water is a stable liquid. Number 33, describe the methods that are used to increase the rate of a chemical reaction. Rate is increased by increased temperature, increased surface area, increased concentration, and the addition of a catalyst. Okay, a catalyst is something that increases the rate of reaction without itself being changed. You guys saw me do this when I was showing you how to separate water into hydrogen and oxygen, and I added that white powder, sodium carbonate. That sodium carbonate actually increased the rate at which water was separated, but it itself didn't change. Describe the difference between the two graphs below. So the two graphs you're looking at are these graphs here, the endo and exothermic graphs. So in the first graph, you're seeing a small amount of activation energy put in. It increases exponentially, and then it releases a great deal of energy. So you have a small amount of activation energy put in, the reaction happens, and it releases a great deal of energy. And then in the next slide, you have a lot of energy put in, but only a little bit of energy is given off. That is an endothermic. So the first one, where a little bit of energy is put in and a lot of energy is released, that is exothermic. But when you have a lot of energy put in, the output is a little bit of energy, that is endothermic. And that was the end. I hope that helped. If anyone has any questions, I'll keep the live open for a few minutes. in case anyone else pops in. I do apologize for not being here. If anyone wants me to answer any questions over the weekend, simply shoot me a message and I will be around to maybe open another live if anyone needs me to do it. But if anyone has any questions, please feel free to let me know.
This clip is on you.
You are very, very welcome. I'm glad I was able to help, and I will see you on Monday. I hope you have a fantastic weekend.
I'm supposed to do a quick customer satisfaction survey before I split, okay? So on a scale of 1 to 3 stars, what would you say about my performance? And don't forget, the squirrel was.